Brought to you by businessblueprint.com.au.
How do you get the biggest gains through your split tests? Let's have a look at a couple of examples of some split tests that have gone really, really well recently. The first principle that I want to touch on here is the principle of one page, one action. And essentially this is making sure that you're not asking people to do too many things on the one page that you've got. If you've got one page with one call to action on it, you'll typically get a much higher conversion rate than if you're asking them to click a link or download or sign up and purchase all on the same page. So it's important that you make sure that on each page there's a single call to action. So let's have a look at this example. Removing distractions. On the left-hand side here, well, on both sides, we've got the New School Architecture School, I guess, degree it was. They've got a design request information page, and the difference here between the two pages, the version on the left has a bar that says, you can't really read it, but student work examples. The version on the right does not. Which version converted better? Who thinks the version on the left? Who thinks the version on the right? The version on the right was a 56% improvement to people requesting information. So by removing little bits of information that may be, little tiny distractions, you can actually make a much bigger increase to your conversions. Let's have a look at another one. This is a online gift registry. Up the top here, they've got links to, on the right-hand version of the page, they've got links to all of their products or the categories of products that they sell. On the left version, they've removed it. So who thinks the version on the left won? Version on the right? Version on the left, 100% improvement. So doubled the conversion rate just by removing a little bit of navigation. This is why Dale's saying to take away those navigation, those links on your feeder pages or on your lead generation pages or your landing pages. So if there's anything here that, if you've got a website and you see something that you could improve, write it down under that first section. The second principle that I want to talk about here is slippery slope, getting rid of distractions and making the action more obvious. So here we go. It's a little difficult to see, but on the left, there is a multi-stage checkout where people have to log in and then enter their billing information and so on and so forth. What they've done on the right is that they've made it simpler and all on the one page. Who thinks the version on the left won? Version on the right? Version of the right was 131.2% improvement. Let's have a look at another one. Simple forms. Here's two forms. The version of the left has 13 form fields. The version on the right has 4. Who thinks people are more likely to fill out 13? And 4? Yeah, there you go, 120% improvement. The next thing next type of split testing that I want to talk about is convincing sales pitch. This is where you change your headline or your testimonials or your opt-in box, tweak the wording of what you're saying and, get a better conversion rate that way. So here we go, this is Josh. Josh's site is called Bait Your Ex Back, and he helps people that are on the other side of breakups, the not so nice side. So this sales page converts at 7.28% for men and 8% for women. He tested out all of these different headline variations, and he was able to find a 24% improvement there and a 29% improvement there just with these versions of just the headline. So if you were to go and repeat that, not just with the headline, but other pieces of information throughout the sales copy, you might find 3 or 4 things that by themselves, improve your results by 29%. Trustworthiness. Here we go. Badges, qualifications, anything that you can add, security certificates, lock and key icons that say your purchase is secure, all of those sort of imagery, all of that sort of imagery can actually improve your conversion rates. Here we go, we've got a iCouponblog.com. On the left-hand side, they don't have this secure icon. On the right-hand side, they do have a secure icon. Who thinks the version on the left one? Who thinks the version on the right one? 400% decrease. This is why you split test. So even though it works typically, for some reason it just distracted people. I'm assuming that people didn't actually trust it. Is it that people don't trust that link or that particular icon? Potentially. They didn't do any more split testing to work out why. If you found something that doesn't work, you typically run away from it as fast as you possibly can. But typically, those sort of icons, when they're small and they're inside an opt-in box or down the bottom of a page, typically they will improve your conversion rates. But still, this is the reason why you split test. You don't want to say, an icon like that is always going to improve my conversions, and then you come across an example like that when it actually damages your conversions. Likeable, attractive humans. This is getting back to the pretty girl example. Here we go. This is two versions of a site. This is a Dutch site, almost identical. There's nothing in it. It's just a picture. There's just two slightly different versions of the page. The only difference is the picture on the right. I'm not even going to ask. 35% improvement to the version on the right for no reason other than that picture on the right, people responded to better. Another Dutch example, DHL. They put up a site, and on the left-hand side, they've got a guy. On the right-hand side, a girl. 108% improvement. So it's not just me. Yes?
Any thoughts on overcoming the kind of cheesy iStock photo faces?
Yep.
That are kind of now a plague on...
Yeah, any thoughts on overcoming the iStock photo faces that are now a plague on the internet? Don't use them. Find something that actually works for you. See if you've got a family member or a staff member or something someone who you can take a photo of. In this case, they hired models. They actually hired four models for this. They hired Asian and Western, and they found Asian worked better for them. And then they hired female and male and found female worked better for them. So this is the upshot of what they did. Women versus nothing. So, who thinks nothing wins? Who thinks the woman won?
Woman always wins.
This is why you split test, again. So, women are better than men, nothing is better than women. So the reason for this one, we believe that the reason why this one on the bottom one didn't convert as well is because it's shifting the page down or shifting the conversion goal down. So when people load it in their browser and you've got that limited amount of space on your screen, there's less on the screen that they can actually see of the conversion goal. So as a result, the woman didn't convert as well. So the two lessons here: make sure your conversion goal is as high as you possibly can, ideally on the screen that people see when they first visit the site. And the second one, split test. Sometimes what you think is going to work doesn't always convert.
Brought to you by businessblueprint.com.au.